Hello everyone, welcome to my YouTube channel, Mexicanas en el Mundo. I'm Alexandra, a Mexican in Switzerland, and today I'm going to teach you how to make pesto, my husband's recipe, his version of making it, which we all love in the house. My older son, he loves this. It's one of his favorite things to eat. And well, as you all know, the basic ingredient in pesto is basil, so you're gonna have to follow me out to the garden so we can pick some fresh basil from there, and then I can show you the ingredients of what you're gonna need for your recipe. Okay, so now we're in the garden. Let's go get our basil for our pesto. Okay, so this is what I cut for basil. I don't know the exact amount, I just kind of winged the cutting, but it's a whole bowlful. I can weigh it later so you guys know an approximate amount for making your pesto. You guys got to see a little bit of my garden, to see where I spend a lot of my day, my time. It's always nice to cook with fresh ingredients, so let's get started with our pesto. Okay, so we're back from the garden. It's nice and cool in the kitchen. Out there it's like hell, really hot. And I picked a lot of basil, but we weighed out 100 grams to make this. It's a whole bowlful, but basil doesn't weigh anything, so it's 100 grams for all of this. We usually use about 5 garlic cloves. Here I have 6 because some of them are quite tiny, so to weigh out the difference, we're using 6 garlic cloves total, but it would be about 5 big ones. You also need 2 teaspoons of salt. And here's the funny part of the recipe. Whenever we make it, we just wing it out. We add the stuff in the food processor and we check out what it needs, what it has an extra, what we can modify to make it creamier, or whatever we like that it tastes better. So we're gonna kind of wing it out with you guys, but in the end, in the description, you're gonna get the exact amounts. So we're gonna start with 1 cup of olive oil and 200 grams of pine nuts. It can always be more or less, but this is what we're gonna put as the basic staple for the recipe. And at the end in the description, you'll actually get the ingredients we used in the video. Okay, so first of all, you're going to need a food processor. If you don't have one, you can also use the blender, but the food processor chops up nicer. So if you have one, use that instead. We're gonna add our basil, our garlic, our salt, and our pine nuts. And the olive oil you add little by little. Why this? You need to check out the consistency. So if you add it all, then you maybe just make a lot of mush. So if you add it little by little, you start checking out the consistency it has, how creamy it gets, how liquidy you want it. Everyone likes it different, like I said. So we're gonna start winging it out in front of you guys, and in the end you'll get the exact amounts like I mentioned earlier, but let's start with this. we're done with our pesto. It was like 1, 2, 3, done. Very easy, very fast to make, very simple, and really delicious. I have the bad habit of when we go out for dinner, I love pesto, but I love my husband's pesto. So we go out to dinner and I order pesto, and I'm always disappointed somehow. It doesn't matter if it's a good restaurant. His pesto is better. I like his pesto, and I'm pretty sure you guys are gonna love this recipe as well. And just as a final tip, you can freeze it. The thing with basil is it's a very bushy plant and it likes to be trimmed. If you leave it like, oh, I want it to look all nice and fluffy and green, that's not gonna happen for long. The plant's gonna start wilting and looking sad. It likes being trimmed, it likes being used. So go get some leaves, make sauces with it, make pesto with it. And what you can do is you can make lots of pesto and freeze it. Like that, you always have fresh homemade sauce in your freezer for a day that you had to work late or whatever and you didn't have time to cook. You just defrost it quickly and you have your pesto. So what I do is I put it in, you can put, this one would be like a 1-person portion, for example. So you scoop up the pesto inside your little Tupperware or big Tupperware. It doesn't matter what size portions you want to freeze. You just kind of fill it up a bit. And the next step is you're gonna drizzle olive oil on the top to create a barrier so that the pesto keeps nicely. So you just kind of make a little Game of Thrones wall in there. And like that, you seal your pesto, you cover it and just put it in the freezer, and that's it. You have fresh pesto right there at your home, homemade, bio. No chemicals or anything, so very healthy for you, for your family, for your friends, and a really good recipe, which I hope you guys enjoy. See you next time. Thank you for watching the video. I hope you enjoyed it. Please watch the other videos. Just click on the links, and don't forget to subscribe to my channel. Thank you.